Hello and welcome to another update video about VeChain. VeChain is still in this ongoing correction. We're going to zoom in a minute, but the overall patterns here haven't changed. VeChain seems quite resilient actually. Has been holding quite well actually after this 5-wave rally unfolded. In the yellow scenario, at least, I consider this a 5-wave rally, and that is also the count I'm leaning to. In the short term, it doesn't really matter which one it is, because even in the white scenario, which is a short term a little bit more bullish one, but actually long term not so bullish because it's a large ABC count. But in both scenarios, actually, there is still plenty of space to invalidation. All right, so let's talk about the two scenarios. In the white scenario, which is the more complicated and messy one, the price formed 3 waves to the upside in an A wave. Then we had a B wave pullback into the January lows, and then 1, 2. Okay, and from here somewhere we could start a 3rd wave rally of wave C, then a 4 and a 5. This is not great, this structure, because it is an ABC structure, and I can actually count 5 waves up if I want to in the yellow count. And normally, you know, whenever I can count 5 waves, then I try to do so. Okay, and then I would prefer this wave count. So this 5-wave move to the upside is sort of what I'm mainly following. It also allows the price to pull back a little bit lower than in the white count, because in the white scenario, the red line here would be the formal invalidation point of the, that red line is the formal invalidation point of the white count, okay? It is entirely possible that we hold above it and we won't really know if it is yellow or white that's unfolding for a while. Okay, but that's not a problem. Okay, that's not a problem as long as we see corrective moves to the downside and we are holding support levels. There is no need to become bearish. We actually see really nice corrective price action to the downside. It is boring and it is frustrating, but it is pretty much what we want to see in such a correction. Because what we don't want to see is that the price is coming down impulsively. We actually want the price to come down correctively. And what is the difference? I mean, you see clearly a difference between the move to the upside, which was very much straightforward, strong movements, lot of momentum. And then you see this overlapping price action, which looks very erratic and chaotic. And that's precisely what a corrective structure is. You see these overlaps, you know, you see 3-wave movements up and down, and that's different to what we've seen to the upside, in which we've seen 5 waves, and also the subwaves were 5-wave structures here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is sort of what we see here on this chart, and therefore I'm leaning towards more bullish outcome, like most crypto charts as well. So the move to the downside here, okay, as said, is corrective. It looks a little bit like a price channel here that the price is following. It's not very well defined. Not even sure. I mean, this could be a channel. Okay, I'm inclined to disregard these weird spikes to the upside. I would say as long as we stay in this corrective price channel, obviously price is likely going to come down further. As soon as we see a break out of this corrective price channel to the upside, this would be an indication that a 3rd wave, either in the yellow count or the white count, are unfolding. Looking at the 1-hour time frame, there is no reliable micro count I have here on this chart, but it is possible to count the move down here as an A wave. Then the move up was a B wave. This was a slightly overshooting B wave. Yeah, I mean, the question is, what is this exactly, right? I mean, in both the white and the yellow count, we can come down lower. This is a bit messy. I mean, could even be a W, X, Y, and then this was an A, B, C. I think this fits best. Otherwise, this would be like a 1, 2, now a wave 3, but it doesn't look like a 3rd wave down. So it's probably best to consider this actually as a WXY pattern. This is obviously not so important. Actually, it's just indicating this is a corrective pullback, as it seems. And then here in the ABC structure, like A, B, C to the downside, and then this would be like a 1, 2, and this is now a 3, then a 4, 5. Again, this might change. This is completely chaotic price action. As you might remember from previous videos, generally when we talk about Elliott waves and corrections, the exact micro count is not so important because it shifts all the time, especially when in corrections. In corrections, it's not so important. What's more important is to understand where is the support area, and it is very well defined here. Starts at pretty much 3.2 cents. And there is also a confluence of support at 3.2 cents. So if I consider the length of this move down, wave W, and compare it to the current move to the downside, just need to do that again, 1 second. I can try that actually. I think this is not correct. So what we need to do, we take the length of the wave W, go to the high of the X wave. And then we get a series of key levels to watch, starting at 3.6 cents. That's precisely where we've seen some support now. That's the 100% extension level. And further to the downside, we've got 3.3, 3.12 cents, and 2.8. These are Fibonacci extension levels that matter. At the moment, there is no indication that a low is in place. In fact, we've made a new low today. And yeah, I think we just have to be a bit patient to see when we get a nice impulsive reaction. First indication now that a low is in place would be a break above the last swing high at 4 cents. I think there is a good chance that we get a substantial rally as soon as this correction is finished. We're far away from any invalidation points. And even if the white count gets invalidated, there's still space down to 1.8 cents in the yellow count. Whenever we have two support areas, let's say above each other, I would always consider the lower one as primary, because it is, you mentally prepare for a deeper pullback. But yeah, ideally this correction is in the late stages, okay? And we see an impulsive rally to the upside soon. But as I make this video, there's absolutely no evidence that this correction is finished. That's my update about VeChain. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.